In part two of Peter Clotty's interview with ICC President Chile Eboe-Osuji, the judge rejects criticism that the court targets Africans. He also explains the conditions under which the court will accept cases of allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity.
To me, about under what circumstances will the court decide to pick up a case, apart from the traditional three threshold that has to be met before the court picks up a case to investigate. For example, although Sudan is not a signatory, the court investigated the atrocities committed in Darfur, which effectively led to then President Omar Hassan al-Bashir's indictment by the court.
That's a brilliant question, and the one that causes a lot of confusion in the minds of people. Now, for the case to come to be picked up by the court, it needs to come through the referral of somebody, typically the state in whose territory the situation occurred, or the state whose national is accused of wrongdoing. So that's one way. That state may refer a case to the ICC. Another way, and typically these are states parties to the Rome Statute. You are a state party to the Rome Statute. You make the referral. There may be instances where a non-state party to the Rome Statute may still make a referral and then basically indicate that they're happy to do that and follow the judgments of the court. Right. So that's one way of referring cases coming, states parties referring or states referring the case. Another way that a case can come to the ICC is if the Security Council refers the case, typically because that situation may have occurred in the territory of a state that is not a state party to the Rome Statute. So under the auspices of the United Nations Security Council mandate for international peace and security, then they get to refer, the Security Council may then refer a case to the ICC. That's the example you cited. Right. Darfur situation was one of those. Another one was Libya. Right. Those instances. So those are the two ways cases come to the ICC. But
one of the criticisms is also that the court targets Africans. They say that for a majority of the cases being handled at the court, most of them are African related. As an African yourself, when you hear such criticisms, how do you react to that?
I can tell you bluntly that I'm not impressed by those criticisms. It's when people tell me that, I tell them, on whose behalf are you speaking? Are you speaking on behalf of the 800,000 Tutsi victims who were victims of the genocide in Rwanda? Are you speaking on behalf of the how many people in Sierra Leone who were amputated, hands amputated by their fellow human beings who felt they could do that? Do you speak on behalf of these people? Who or are you speaking on behalf of when you say court is targeting Africans, targeting those victims? Or is the complaint that perhaps the court is taking up questions of humanity in which there are African victims? Is that the narrative? Is that a complaint? That's usually why I'm not impressed by those complaints.
So what do you see as the ICC's role in Africa going forward, let's say in the next 5-10 years to come?
For Africans, the matter of economic development is hugely important. Where war is erupting, you don't have economic activities going on. So this is one area where the ICC has value, in the sense putting pressure against those kinds of conduct so that people don't engage with them with as much of an ease as used to be the case before the creation of the ICC.
That was ICC Chief Chile Eboe-Osuji speaking to our Peter Clotty.